Have you ever seen a Catholic priest with clothes traditionally associated with Islamic people? Well, we met the Missionaries of Africa, commonly known as the White Fathers because of their habit, who do exactly that. Their first communities were in North Africa, so their founder wanted to help them fit in.
In his desire to get us resemble as much as possible the Muslims in whose context we were founded, so that in terms of contact with them, we'll be able to be accepted very easily. And still till today, you will find many Muslims walking around in a white sort of dress like this. And the rosary, we took the rosary because of our Christian faith, but the Muslims, they have something like the rosary with the 99 names of God, where they recite the praises of God. So for us, we replace that with the rosary itself, with the stations, with the different decades. And we use that also as our prayer. The hat, of course, is very practical when it is hot. And it is something that is common in many parts of Africa.
The White Fathers are present in 22 countries in Africa, as well as in countries in Europe and in North America. Their main work involves direct evangelization and setting up schools and health facilities. But another main priority is interreligious dialogue between Christians and Muslims.
Dialogue with Muslims is important to us. And it is a dialogue which means an encounter with them, respecting their religion, their faith, and learning to appreciate who they are for who they are, not necessarily trying to convert them. Now, if there are some who are ready to be converted, and if it is not dangerous, because in some places it's dangerous for a Muslim to leave his or her faith, if it is not dangerous, that person is accompanied. But we don't aim at converting Muslims. We aim at encountering them as brothers of a common faith in God. So the fanaticism in Islam, I think it is a reality in Africa, in many African countries. We have seen it in Nigeria, we've seen it in Mali, and it is interesting to note that the Muslims in those countries, they say, this is an Islam we do not recognize. This is not our Islam, because the Islam that we are used to is an Islam where the people of other religions live peacefully with them, they interact with each other without any violence. And it still happens today in Ghana, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Nigeria, in some parts, that in the same family you find Muslims and Christians living together, interacting without any difficulty. So it is a current of Islam that is being introduced with people who have been trained outside, who upon return claim that they are the real Muslims and that the others are not real Muslims. So they try to impose another vision of Islam upon the people. How do we counteract that? I think the best thing is still to continue to promote a respectful dialogue.
This White Father spent around 25 years in Rwanda. He knows what it takes to be a missionary. He even experienced the beginning of the genocide in 1994.
They were terrible days. I remember they were horrible. War is something very horrible. People who speak of war and haven't lived it like I have, it's difficult for them to understand it if they haven't lived it. That sensation of destroying life, that sensation that life isn't worth anything, that you're an object, it's blind destruction. Bullets don't have eyes. People who are panicking, and you're also afraid. You don't choose to be a missionary, you're chosen. You're chosen by Jesus. The first thing necessary is that you feel that He calls you, that He wants you there. Like St. Paul says, that you feel you've been possessed by Jesus, that you've been seduced by Him. That's the main thing, even for any vocation. But to be a missionary, being seduced by Jesus then includes going out to the country where He indicates you. For me, it means being a light, to be like a little lamp that gives light. This is the basic thing. If this doesn't exist, then missionary doesn't resist.
Esto es lo básico. Si esto no existe, el misionero no resiste.